Welcome into the bunker of General Gridiron, Field Marshal of football forecasting. We're about to map out the way this weekend of college football is gonna go. Will your favorite team be marching to victory, or will the enemy be taking your battle flag? After 9 months of hibernating, the woolly bully college football bear came out big time last weekend. That opening weekend was full of excitement with big time comebacks, i.e. Bo Nix and Auburn, great upsets, see Georgia State and UNC, and a whole lot more. And the fun continues this weekend with General Gridiron, Field Marshal of football foretelling, leading the way. So grab your helmet and man those battle stations. We're ready for the action to start with the General. Southern Miss at Mississippi State. The Rock rolls north to the Cowbell Palace for just the second time this century. Oxford native Jack Abraham steers the Yellow Buzzards O, and his competition in Week 1 versus SWAC foe Alcorn didn't exactly answer that stability question for Jay Hobson. On the home sideline at Davis Wade is a pack of wild, slobbering ankle biters, ready to whoop up a little CUSA squad that likes to think of themselves as an equal in the mighty Magnolia State. Coach Joe's Dogs wants the clangers in attendance to seek medical help for ear ringing when this one is wrapped in maroon and white. The Generals victor, Mississippi State. Cincinnati at Ohio State. The Urban Meyer Bowl doesn't have quite the wow factor with the coach now sitting in the rocking chair. Before he coached the Gators and Buckeyes to national titles, the Ashtabula kid went south to the Queen City to play defensive back for the Bearcats of the mid-'80s. A new day dawned last weekend at the Horseshoe as Ryan Day officially coached his first game as OSU's head coach. The Scarlet and Gray throng roared in excitement and a late August win was entered into the ledger. But the real Week 1 NCAA thrill in the Ohio was UC's thumping of UCLA. The kiddies will make this one mighty close, but in the end, the nuts will bend but not break. The Generals victor, Ohio State. West Virginia at Missouri. WVU, the Big 12's newcomer, visits the team that divorced that conference for the brighter bling of It Just Means More. Neil Brown, the main muzzleloader south of the Monongahela, performed miracles at the Sunbelt School in the Alabama Wiregrass. And now he's knee-deep in the weeds of Power 5 football. Mizzou has an expanded stadium and tradition-wise is slowly starting to resemble something of a Vanderbilt or one of them Mississippi schools. But MU coach Barry Odom doesn't care about all that. The only tradition that concerns him is winning, something the Tigers forgot to do last week at Laramie. Will Kelly Bryant come down from his low in the Wyoming mountains and power his new team to the home W? The Generals victor? Yes, he will. Missouri. BYU at Tennessee. Georgia State. The team that in its roughly 10 years of playing has lost to now defunct Lambeth University of the NAIA, lowly FCS member Tennessee State, and they even helped shut down the Georgia Dome. And the mighty SEC superpower Tennessee Big Orange Vols lost to that program? Check, please. BYU was a once mighty program too, but Joseph Smith couldn't get these lost souls back on the trail to respectability. Since becoming a college football independent back in 2011, the Cougars have now been surpassed by Triple Option Army for best independent program not named Notre Dame. Still, this Rocky Top battle will be worth a view. The Generals victor, BYU. Texas A&M at Clemson. Jared Hocker said it. Who the heck's Jared Hocker? He's a big old offensive lineman for Jimbo Fisher's Aggies that is now playing in his junior year. So yeah, he ought to have more sense than to declare a Texas A&M victory in Death Valley, South Carolina, which he did earlier this week. Will the words of the tall Texan shake the boots of the salty sandlappers? Locker room fodder for the number 1 team in the land ain't hard to get, so chances are Dabo Swinney let this warning shot fall harmlessly in the waters of Lake Hartwell. Their 2018 clash at Kyle Field was epic. 2019? Not so much. The Generals victor? Clemson. Hey, hate to do it, y'all, but the Generals just got a strut for a moment. My Week 1 bowl picks. I went 9-1, and I only missed the Mizzou-Wyoming clash. Not bad, eh? Now let's go to Vegas. The bowl picks for Week 2 still left to weigh in on include Miami at Upstart, North Carolina, Stanford at Southern Cal, and Coach O's Tigers on the 40 acres. We'll tell you all about it, so keep it here. General Gridiron will be right back.
Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
Why do you ask that, kiddo?
Howdy, soldiers. This is General Gridiron back with you. Each week, this fabulous football forecast is heard on some of the finest radio stations all over Pigskin Paradise, including WSBM FM 97.9 in Florence, Alabama, Fox Sports Shoals. And in Bonham, Texas, KFYN AM 1420 and 95.7 FM, The Warrior, radio home of the Bonham Purple Warriors. We appreciate all of our radio affiliates. Now, let's get back into the football fight. Tulane at Auburn. Bo 2.0 for Heisman? Somebody in East Alabama has surely put ink to shirt and have these tees on sale along College Street. The freshman's second half was the thing of legend for a program desperately trying to get back to the NCAA mountaintop. Meanwhile, Mardi Gras, jazz, beignets, and debauchery are probably a little bit more world-renowned than New Orleans' college football team. But don't look now. Willie Fritz has something going on St. Charles. This is actually a rivalry game for Tulane, a series they actually lead against Auburn, 17-14 and 6 ties. Hey, y'all remember that contest back in '55 where the Greenies upset the number 8 Plainsmen 27-13? Yeah, probably not. This 2019 renewal is going to be epic too. The Generals victor in an upset, Tulane. Stanford at USC. The big news out of South LA this week is the unfortunate season-ending injury to Trojan signal caller JT Daniels. The men of Troy just snuck by Fresno in week 1, and now rival The Tree spins its way into Tinseltown. David Shaw's deep red hue has been one sure thing, steady. In his 9 years at Stanford, there have been no losing seasons and 4 major bowl berths. Oh, he's also notched 6 wins against that snobby school in America's second largest city. The Generals victor in this year's Left Coast matchup, Stanford. Arkansas at Mississippi. This is an SEC divisional matchup. That's why the General has given this pick the time of day. Mississippi ain't good. Banners declaring Fire Matt Luke are already hanging at houses along Fraternity Row. Season ticket sales are at epic lows. The Fightin' Fake Fish just lost to Tiger High. I know it hurts Mississippi fans, but need a comforting word? Arkansas. As bad as things are in Lafayette County, remember Pig Suey lost to Matt Luke en route to an over 2018 season, and the Hogs just escaped a loss to FCS foe Portland State on Labor Day weekend. Who emerges here with a rare SEC win? The Generals victor, surprisingly, Arkansas. Miami at North Carolina. Mac is back. What an awesome win for 68-year-old Mac Brown in Charlotte last Saturday as the Heels roared back to beat the SEC's Gamecocks. Even if you don't like that Carolina blue, you had to salute the thrill of the coach and his program. The Hurricanes spin out of South Florida with another storm, Dorian, dominating the headlines this week. By the way, redcross.org, the website to go to donate and help out. Assuming this one gets played and the Heels can come back to earth, freshman QB Sam Howell's talented arm and a packed throng of students at Kenan Memorial Stadium will usher in a second straight upset on Saturday night. The Generals victor, North Carolina. LSU at Texas. Kudos to the administrators of these two great southern universities for pulling the trigger on this regular season battle. DKR is going to be exploding with excitement when Boudin meets Brisket. The ABC cameras will capture the looks of SEC Offensive Player of the Week Joe Burrow. Coach Orgeron will have his usual "I hate the world" expression on full display, and the Tiger Pimps will get FaceTime on the 40 acres. The Generals victor, LSU. We've already looked at the weekend's biggest battles across the nation, but we're not done, y'all. We'll be right back to wrap up this Week 2 General Gridiron with our rapid-fire picks.
I was living in a shelter, juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
This is General Gridiron back with you. We've already maneuvered through this weekend's frontline college football showdowns. Now, it's time to fix bayonets and storm the field with our rapid-fire football forecast. Georgia Tech sneaks by South Florida. Washington waxes California. Florida destroys UT Martin. Pittsburgh bests Ohio. North Dakota State captures the Peace Garden State against North Dakota. Michigan outflanks Army. Iowa shucks Rutgers. Syracuse skewers Maryland. Virginia Tech gets revenge against Old Dominion. Oregon scatters Nevada. Central Arkansas claws Austin Peay. Memphis pounces on Southern. Purdue steams over Vanderbilt. Colorado stampedes old Big 8 foe Nebraska. Louisiana Tech over Lincoln Parish neighbor Grambling. Boston College beats Richmond. Alabama destroys New Mexico State. Alabama State gobbles up Old Turkey Day Classic rival Tuskegee. UCLA sinks San Diego State. And Florida State gets the home W against Louisiana Monroe. Well, troops, you can now put your swords back in their scabbards. We're all out of picks on this edition of General Gridiron. We'll be back again next week, same General Gridiron time, same General Gridiron station. So don't forget to tune us in on the radio, Facebook, YouTube TV, or download the Y'all Show free on iTunes Podcast. And don't forget to tell your friends all about the show. Just search for General Gridiron. This is John Rawl, the General of Gridiron Glory, thanking you for letting me be a part of your weekend celebration. General Gridiron is a production of Y'all. For more, log on to y'all.com, the ultimate guide to the South.
That'll be all. Y'all.